Welcome to GCC workshop, exploring public goods funding mechanisms for sustainability. And I'm Bruce from AlexDAO. AlexDAO is a R&D focused DAO for sustainable supporting valuable public goods. And this is our website. We are partner of GCC, so we are very happy to be invited for this workshop. Yeah. So, what is GCC? GCC stands for Universal Digital Commerce of Global Chinese Community, which is a organization to attract greater participation from builders, especially in Chinese-speaking world, and to push the forward of the public goods. And also, GCC has funded the Gitcoin grants rounds and also supported some projects like Soul Wallet, What the Fuck Academy, Chain Eyes, etc. And what is Web3 public goods? So Web3 public goods refers to resources or tools in the decentralized Web3 ecosystem that are freely accessed to everyone and benefit the entire community. So examples including open source software, decentralized protocols, and educational content, etc. So these goods are typically funded by the community or grants, promoting a more open and user-centric web. So basically, that's the general idea of Web3 public goods. But there are a lot of challenges for funding Web3 public goods. Like, for example, most Web3 public goods, like a profit model, that also face challenges in securing funding. And donations can only provide a small amount of unstable funds. And the majority of the Web3 public goods projects has low visibility and impact. So those are challenges for funding for Web3 public goods funding. Therefore, I'm happy to present some solutions today. So hopefully it's gonna give you some idea for what you're working on and for this hackathon. So the first solution is donation. Yeah, so it's the most common way for funding public goods. So the advantages are like donors have no expectations, so which means you have less stress for to make profit from your project, and it's very simple and straightforward. So basically, you just put your address on the page or in your DM, the accept tokens or something like that. But there are also disadvantages like normally there will be small amounts and unstable. Sometimes maybe you promoting your product, then you might get a lot, but later you want to receive something. Yeah. So there are some examples for this direction. So like Donate Three, so it's a project for making donation easier. So basically, you can create widgets and easy to install on your website or put it on the article, and people can just click donate to your address by clicking this button to make it easier. And also you can get a donation certificate or sort of things. So to say, okay, so this transaction is for donation purpose. For the possible actions for this direction, uh, you could build like easy to integrate donation infrastructure. Like for example, you could put some donation link on your Twitter profile on the social network or something like that in your article. Also, you could generate some QR code so that people can scan the code, then transfer the token to your address to make it easier. And also, there are stealth donations and meta addresses. So this idea, like you could provide a better, you could increase the privacy for users to making donation to public goods, to make the user experience better if they don't want to show their address or something like that. Cool. So the next solution is creative funding. Creative funding is a crowdfunding mechanism that amplifies available resources by inviting community members to make donations, big or small, both fun, that act as a voice on where to allocate funds. The broader the support, the bigger the match. So this, yeah, I strongly suggest you to open this website. I have put a link on this title. It provides some easy to understand example and a calculator, so you will be able to understand how it works. So basically, it's an equation that more people donate to some product, that product gonna get more from the grants pool. So therefore, using this way to vote for the valuable public goods to fund. So the advantage is this is a fair crowdfunding mechanism. So you could get if there are more people like your project or benefit from your project, you will get more funding. But the disadvantages are like Matthew effect and Sybil attack. So basically, uh, because due to the equation, the, if you have a famous product, if your product created a lot of impact, has a lot of followers, so you might get much more than the product like still in the early stage or not have many users. Uh, sometimes it makes sense, but sometimes for it's unfair for some early stage public goods because they need more funds than the mature public goods. And also Sybil attack. So basically, I could spread my money into some addresses because it's really hard to attract. Uh, I could split my token into different addresses, then donate to this project to get better, to get much more funding. So these are very common disadvantages. So here are some examples like Gitcoin grants. This is the most famous one. So if you, yeah, so at the moment you can still donate to some projects, and we also have GCC round on Gitcoin. So if you would like to donate, feel free to check it out. And it's on OP this time, so the gas fee is nearly zero. Yeah, and there are other platforms also based on creative funding. So possible actions. So we could build like better strategy or a mechanism to detect a cyber attack, like using AI or machine learning tool. Yeah, so it's gonna be better, provide a better user experience. And the next solution is retroactive public goods funding. So yeah, just as its name, so it's retroactive, which means the advantages are like high efficiency fund utilization, because it's retroactive. So which means you have to uh, finish the public goods, the project, and promoted this project to get as many as users to generate real impact, so that you will be noticed by the community or the organization. Then you will be able to get the funds. So the reverse, those who genuinely contribute or projects that make a real impact. So because they are some application or some projects they received the grants, but somehow they stopped the work. So this kind of loss for the fund. But the disadvantage is like it will be a very long cycle to obtain funds, because you have to finish the public goods first. Then you have to promoting it, and after it created a lot of impact, then you will be able to get retroactive funds. Um, yeah, it's gonna be long cycle, like maybe months or even years. Who knows? And most funds tend to flow to well-known projects. It's a kind of like a Matthew effect issues. So because it's also like a, a distributed based on impact. So therefore, if you have a well-known product, you might get a lot, but from like the funding perspective, you might not need those funds. If we allocate those funds to some early stage but with potential to grow up to create a positive impact public goods, that might be more effective for using these funds. Yeah, so the most famous example is optimism public goods funding. So in short, this gonna build close the loop. So basically, the sequencer generates revenue. Users using optimism layer 2, the sequencer gonna generate revenue, and they will distribute those revenue to the public goods or the ecosystem applications, etc. So they can develop their project. They can attract more users, create more use cases on the blockchain. So therefore, they're gonna have more users to use optimism, and create more and help the sequencer to generate more revenue. So it's gonna be a close the loop. Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense. And in this way, the possible actions might be like end-to-end DAO, public goods funding system, and public good credit systems, because it's because this gonna the community need to like retroactively vote for those projects who create real impact, they think. So therefore, they might need more information, not just from like Twitter follower or other metrics. So it's good to have like credit system to show that okay, so this public goods is actively deploy development and promoting or creating substantial influence, something like that. So it's gonna provide better or more information for the community to make the right decision. Yeah, and the next solution is contract secured revenue, which is CSR. So in short, because we deploy our DApp of contract on the blockchain on the network, and if some user if users uses our use our DApp, they're gonna pay gas fee. So in CSR, the idea is to share the gas fee to the DApp creator or developer. So in this way, it's gonna create a sustainable revenue through protocol usage. But there are also disadvantage, like there must be a lot of usage to get it up and running. So on this blockchain or on your project, there must be a lot of users to use and pay for the gas fee or pay for something. Then you can get enough revenue to sustain, right? So there are some examples like EIP 69668. So basically, this EIP is to bring this idea into Ethereum ecosystem. Yeah, feel free to check it out. And there is another public goods network, which created by Gitcoin, based on this EIP, or based on OP stock with this EIP implementation. So this is gonna be like a digital sharing point that layer two, the first layer two to create public goods. So yeah, so this is a very good experiment for sustainability. But there are still a lot of details in progress, working in progress. So yeah. Speaking for this way, the possible actions, I don't have much idea on this yet, so I'll leave it to you. So the final solution is issuing tokens. Yeah, this is a most Web3 native way to for the project to collect to get some funds or share the project with the community. Yeah, something like that. So the advantage is like sustainability can be achieved through tokenomics, but the disadvantages are like some compliance or legal risks. You need to take the risk, and also public goods hard to support token value because they are normally free access or open source. So sometimes it's very hard to make a lot of profit, and also to support the token value. So there are some example like Gitcoin GTC. So it's a token from Gitcoin. So the possible actions is like large scale funding flow infrastructure. So basically, because you are gonna issue token, so you uh, will need to have some infrastructure, like for you to staking or to manage the funding, or sort of things. So basically, you could build based on this for like some easy version of token management system for small project, or some platform for the specifically for public goods, so that people can know, okay, which public goods has generated their token. If you like it, you can buy some for supporting that. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much for the some common solution. Yeah, I think there are more solution, but feel free to share with me and GCC. Yeah, cool. So that's pretty much it for this short workshop. Hopefully, I can bring you some idea for solving the funding sustainability issue. And yeah, enjoy your hackathon. Also, if you would like to know more, feel free to check out our website, and also follow our Twitter. You could also scan this QR code to follow our Twitter. Okay, cool. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.